This is the Four-Man Rush. Hello, Panther fans, and welcome to another podcast of the Four-Man Rush. I'm your host, Timmy V.O., here with Kevin, Will, and Larry, and it's draft time, baby. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeedy. We're going to talk about the NFL draft tonight. In fact, we're going to have a live, well, not necessarily live, but we're going to have a live while we're doing the recording here. We're going to talk about, well, not talk about, we're going to actually go through a mock draft, right? And we're going to talk about who's available, who we would pick, and why we picked it, and things of that nature, and give you some in-depth analysis about the players that we chose. If you guys have checked out the previous two podcasts, we've been breaking down players in terms of offense and defense, really diving into who we thought was going to be where and who we would prefer and things of that nature. So we're actually going to perform a mock draft right here on the podcast and see what you guys think. If you're listening to if you're listening to this fresh off the press, draft is tomorrow, technically, because you listen to this on Wednesday. So, yeah, the draft is tomorrow. So make sure you run this back through, okay, before the draft comes on, so you can be all up in it. You know, just be schooling people on the information, man. That's how it goes, right? We're here for you. So thanks again, folks, for listening to the Four-Man Rush podcast. Let's dive into this bad boy. So we're gonna go one of the first rounds. Excuse me. The Panthers have the 7th pick. Kevin, are you running the draft?
I got it up right here. So
Will got it. Will got it up.
My Roger Goodell on real quick.
So
welcome to the NFL draft.
Here we go.
Let's get started.
Woohoo!
All right, so as expected, the first overall pick was Joe Burrow. Second overall pick is Chase Young. Detroit threw a little bit of a curveball at us and took Isaiah Simmons at 3. Giants took Andrew Thomas at 4. The Dolphins, surprisingly, took Justin Herbert at 5. And the Chargers took the best cornerback on the board, Jeffrey Okudah, at 6.
Oh, boy.
So at 7.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
For 7, we got Derek Brown, Tua Tagliavola, Tristan Wirfs, Jerry Jeudy, C.J. Henderson, Mekhi Becton, Jedrick Wills, and C.D. Lamb and Javon Kinlaw as possibilities. And I think we might be unanimous on who to take if the board were to fall this way.
Indeed. Brown. What do you think, Larry?
Hey, can I walk the card up to the podium myself? Please give me the honor.
Yeah, I think this is a no-brainer. Just got to go with the best player on the board, in my opinion, which would be Derek Brown. Definitely fits a need. So killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Woo. And just to let you guys know, I'm sure you should know who the heck Brown is. The D tackle out of Auburn, who's an absolute monster. Wreaked havoc on the SEC last year, man. He was something to deal with. So, woo! Well, we get that man right there, folks. We're gonna be in a good way, man.
Sounds like the cards turned in there. So with the 7th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Derek Brown, defensive tackle out of Auburn.
Good pick, Coach. Good pick.
Yes.
Yeah, to me, what you're getting here, a guy that's going to draw a double team, so come in and start right away, probably give you 60% of the snaps in that D tackle rotation. If he can evolve as a pass rusher with his hand technique and, bend and things like that, I mean, I think he can solve this position for at least the next 8 to 10 years. So this is probably one of the better scenarios that could happen Thursday night.
Love it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And, for people that's using pass rushing as kind of a knock on Derek Brown, realize that when he lined up as the nose tackle, and I mentioned this on the podcast we was on last night, he was 5th best in the country with quarterback pressures when lined up as nose tackle. So either 0 technique in a 30 front or as the 1 technique in a 40 front where he shaded either side of the center. So I believe number 1 was Neville Gallimore Number 2 was Kinlaw, and then Derek Brown was 5th in the nation in Division I as quarterback pressures when lined up at nose tackle. So if the 5th best in the country is a knock, and I love to see what he can do once he get that worked on.
Exactly. Oh man, God, I hope it does follow like that, man. That'll be beautiful to get Brown at 7, man. So how did the rest of the round fall out?
All right, so after us, we had Mekhi Becton went at 8 to Arizona. Jacksonville picked up Tua at 9. Let's talk about some notables. The Raiders got C.J. Henderson at 12. Oh my God, Atlanta got Jerry Jeudy at 16.
Come on, man. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
The Saints got Javon Kinlaw, who fell all the way to 24.
Dang.
Cesar Ruiz snuck into the first round to Baltimore at 28. And Antoine Green Bay took Jordan Love, the quarterback from Utah State. That's interesting. I wonder how Rogers will feel about that.
Yeah, right.
So now round 2 got started. Cincinnati took Patrick Queen. Colts took Jeff Gladney. Lions took Grant Delpit. Giants took Jeremy Chin. And the Chargers took Jalen Reagor, the wide receiver from TCU. So at 38, we got A.J. Terrell, cornerback out of Clemson. We got Jonathan Taylor, running back out of Wisconsin. Josh Jones, offensive tackle out of Houston. T. Higgins, wide receiver out of Clemson. Isaiah Wilson, offensive tackle out of Georgia. And then just some other names. Kyle Duggar is available. Ross Blacklock, defensive tackle if you want to double dip at that position. So any thoughts on that? To me, I'm leaning towards A.J. Terrell, cornerback out of Clemson, considering we're playing in the NFC South and we need somebody that can shadow the Julio Joneses and Michael Thomas is out there. What's your thoughts on that?
I want to fortify my interior and go ahead and get a guy I've been high on since day one, and I'm going to take Cushenberry out of LSU.
Interesting. Kevin?
Yeah, I'm kind of a Cushenberry fan myself, but if Atlanta gets Ridley, Judy, I'm looking at Julio Jones, Calvin, cornerback would have to be that would be serious. But yeah, we can't be affected by what others do. So I'm with Larry. Most athletic center in the draft. Familiar with the line calls that Joe Brady is going to be using. Seamless transition. I mean, even though Paradis is coming back, Cushenberry can also play either guard spot. I think Larry put me on to that. So that definitely takes care of now and later. So yeah, give me Cushenberry at the second round pick.
Also, the fact that we don't really have a single starter that doesn't deserve to be challenged right now on the offensive line. I mean, I like to bring in competition for Mogan. You said Paradis is coming back. Nobody's job is safe to me on the O-line. I think it's due for a true rebuild, or what I like to say is retool. So I'll get best available lineman every round if I have to. That's just the way I'm standing right now.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I was thinking that the offensive tackle out of Georgia. That would be my pick.
Oh, if Isaiah Wilson is out there too, that's somebody else I'd be interested in. But
yeah,
I'm definitely trying to address the interior of my offensive line immediately.
Gotcha. Yeah, cause
I was like, we going with Cushenberry then at 38.
Yep.
All right,
man. So again, Panther fans, make sure you check your stats.
Building the team from the inside out so far.
Indeed.
All right, so now we're at pick 69. So far in round 3, Bengals took Bradley and defensive end out of Utah. Zach Bond went to the Redskins. Lions took Raekwon Davis. And the Jets took Jacob Phillips. So we got Justin Matabuke from defensive tackle out of Texas A&M. Matt Hennessy, center out of Temple, still available. Tyler Biadasz, center out of Wisconsin, still available. Jalen Hurts, quarterback, Oklahoma, still there. You can go tight end, Adam Troutman, Dayton, Albert O from Missouri. James Lynch from Baylor, a Matt Rule guy who I think will have to be very high on. Damon Arnett is the best cornerback still available.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can go another tight ends. A lot of tight ends available. Harrison, Bryant, Chase, Claypool. So, what's your thoughts on this?
Whew. I'm going tight end.
Well, for me, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Kev. I was just thinking aloud.
For me, I'm thinking corner. Of course, I'm a fan of the cornerback out of OSU, that Arnett. I'm definitely a fan of his to take a look at here, because definitely we're severely lacking in the cornerback department. I think in day 2, you can definitely start shifting your BPA a little bit more to your need side. Was Jalen Johnson, the quarterback out of Utah, available, Will? Or I don't know how far you looked into it, but either him or Arnett would be my pick with in the 3rd round.
No, Jalen Johnson went late first.
Oh, thanks. See,
wow,
boy. So yeah, put me now for Arnett, cornerback out of Ohio State.
Yeah, as much as I like James Lynch, and I think Matt Rule will do anything he can to get him on the team. I think by already taking Derek Brown, I think in this scenario, I'd rather him go with cornerback as well. I mean, I don't think we can come out of this draft without addressing that position, considering what we have currently on the depth chart.
Yeah, I agree with you guys for the most part. If I don't go corner, I at least go, maybe safety or linebacker. But if it was a safety out there, I'd throw out Kyle Duggar's name. He fits Rule's profile of being an athletic stud for the most part, and he's a 4-year starter, so the experience is there. But if corner is there, that's where I'm going to go. But somewhere in the secondary, I agree with you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I initially said tight end, but yeah, we haven't addressed the secondary in the draft yet, so absolutely, we got holes to fill.
I saw 69 Damon Arnett's the pick. Now he got kind of slept on because he played opposite side Okudah, who's the best corner on the board, but he held his own. I mean, he's like Okudah, he's very good at press bail guy, has good size. I've heard people say he'd fit in that 49ers scheme with Richard Sherman. And to use your length in that cover 3 press that they like to run there. And I think both him and Okudah kind of remind me of Josh Norman as well. A little bit more polished coming out as prospects, but I'm just in terms of what their skill set, their strengths, and what they can become. So I think that's very good value in round 3.
I agree.
Yeah, for me, since this was one of the guys I was kind of high on, just from what I was able to look information up on about him. According to the Draft Network, the summary of Arnett, it says a day 1 corner prospect for teams looking for a starter in press man coverage. His player comparison in NFL is Darius Slay, which is not bad. Say his best trait is man technique. His worst trait is tackling. He tested out extremely athletic. He's able to get his hands on the ball. Says he's got smooth, fluid hips. So, I can work with that.
Word. All right, so far we've picked up a D tackle, we picked up a corner, and we picked up a interior lineman. Correct? Okay.
Right. So far we got Derek Brown, Lloyd Cushenberry, and Damon Arnett.
Okay.
So round 4, we're at pick 113. Guys available, some recognizable names. You got Van Jefferson, wide receiver out of Florida. Jordan Brooks, outside linebacker from Texas Tech, who I think is a really good player. More corners, Bryce Hall, cornerback from Virginia. Tyler Johnson, wide receiver from Minnesota. So you're really starting to see the wide receiver depth come into play this late in the draft. You got Amik Robertson, cornerback out of Louisiana Tech. Leaky Fotu. I already know Larry's answer to this. So
that's
once I said that name, defensive tackle out of Utah.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. Especially, getting to the 4th round. Name is still out there. Guy with that kind of athletic profile. Immediate stud. Definitely adds value to the rotation with Brown leading the way. So, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think, even though we got Derek Brown already, remember Kawan Short's getting up there in age. He's got a $20 million cap hit, and, he's coming off an injury. So I think, building that depth at the defensive tackle position is a must.
I agree.
Well, for me, I'm always a hog model guy, but honestly, believe it or not, and I blame Vince Holmes for this, I like that Amik Robinson at cornerback. I mean, again, he would fit the slot need. Again, when you're looking at the fact that, the NFL is so pass heavy, so many 3, 4, and 5 wide receiver sets, I'm just not trying to see no more linebackers trying to cover slot guys. Me personally, I would double dip back to back with Arnett and then Amik Robertson. But at the end of the day, I won't complain about Leaky Fotu at all. But I just want to do something different than throw that out there in my logic behind it. So, that would be me. Amik Robinson out of, was he Louisiana Tech?
Yeah, Louisiana Tech. Mm-hmm. They were a very feisty, physical nickel corner type. I guess Tim is the tiebreaker here. You want to go Leaky Fotu, defensive tackle out of Utah, or Amik Robertson, nickel corner out of Louisiana Tech at 119?
Hey, Will, if you did have to go corner, you wouldn't consider Bryce Hall, your boy from Virginia?
I would think we got Arnett in the round before. So I think you can double dip at corner there. But I just think we're getting Arnett there with his size on the length on the outside, that it's kind of an overlap in what they can do there. I prefer maybe a Amik Robertson, like a nickel corner, to kind of complement Arnett in that case.
Yeah, I'm going to say corner, primarily because we really haven't addressed that in the offseason in free agency like I wanted to, especially since we lost Bradbury. So I would go nickel corner in that case.
So we split 2-2. We got to flip a coin.
I'm taking Bryce Hall and I'm taking Dante in the nickel. Either way, I'm taking going BPA, but still in my book that's Fotu. But I'm just saying if we had to go DB again.
Yeah.
Looking at
it is a tough pick, man.
BPA on this board is tiebreaker. So the highest ranked out of the two, Amik Robertson's 121 on the board. Leaky Fotu's 133 on the board.
Oh.
We'll go with the BPA as the tiebreaker in this case then. So the 119, we take Amik Robertson, cornerback out of Louisiana Tech.
Nice.
Okay, so round 5, we got 2 picks. Back really close together. We got 148 and 152.
Nice.
And we got the 148 as part of that trade with Kyle Allen.
Allen. My man.
So what we got here, we got a lot of tight ends on the board. Kobe Parkinson out of Stanford, Hunter Bryant out of Washington.
Ooh.
You got Kendall Vildor, a cornerback out of Georgia Southern.
Ooh.
Let's see what else we got here. You can go Thaddeus Moss, tight end out of LSU. J.R. Reed, safety out of Georgia. Wide receiver, you got Quintez Cephas out of Wisconsin. You got continue to go in the interior line with Nick Harris out of Washington. Jonah Jackson out of Ohio State. Offensive tackle, pretty solid player as well. Sadiq Charles out of LSU. So any thoughts on this? And just keep in mind, we got picks 148 and 152. So we can probably get 2 out of these guys, in that same round.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any more interior defensive lineman that's popping up, Will?
Let's see who the best available is. Best available right now is Khalil Davis at 191 and Benito Jones at 195. Our pick is 148, so you might be able to. There might be a little bit of a.
Yeah, we can
wait, but they're still available.
In my opinion, I'll just go ahead and spit with my 2 back-to-back picks. I will go with Thaddeus Moss first, and then come back and grab Nick Harris, the center out of Washington. I think he'll be a long-time starter in the league one day. So to get him in this later of the round, I think that's the ultimate steal.
Yeah, I'm on board with Thaddeus Moss too, as far as just the connection with Joe Brady. He knows the offense a little bit, So, like if they do go tight end, he'd be the guy that they would go this late in the draft.
Here. Yeah, I'm going Thaddeus and interior lineman.
Yeah, for the number 2 pick in the 5th round, yeah, give me the Thaddeus Moss as well. So I think that makes that one unanimous. Are we going ahead and telling our second pick as well, or?
After Thaddeus Moss, Detroit took Sean Bradley out of Temple. Giants took Kenny Wilkes from Michigan State. And Chargers took Hunter Bryant out of Washington. So, yeah, Nick Harris is still available.
Perfect.
So here's my thing with Nick Harris. We already got Cushenberry. How we going to – it's basically like getting 2 centers, right?
Yeah, I'm bringing competition to the position, and I believe Cushenberry can play some guard too. It's a 5th-round pick. That's his BPA, in my opinion.
So, let's see who else. It looks good to me. We got double-dipped at corner already. We got a tight end. Wide receiver, we kind of addressed in free agency. Safety, we got J.R. Reed out of Georgia. So, I have no problem with Nick Harris here.
Yep.
All right.
Well, put me down. I'm outvoted, but just put me down for J.R. Reed, safety out of Georgia. I really like the film breakdown you guys were showing about him, his instinctive playmaking ability, whether it's in the box or, deep, because, we got Trey Boston. Yeah, we signed Justin Harris, but at the end of the day, are these long-term solutions there at the position? For me, I like, again, addressing this weak secondary. I felt like this was the perfect draft to finally get some long-term solutions there. And I know we already double-dipped that corner, but I like Reed, and Larry, you watched a lot of Georgia games. So even though you're going with Nick Harris, what insight could you share of what you see about Reed?
Everything you explained, basically. It's a lot of experience behind him as well. I don't mind going safety either. Earlier in the draft, we were in the second. I was probably going to lean toward Kyle Duggar. So I definitely believe in addressing the safety position if possible. So I'm not going to disagree with you there at all.
All right, so I guess, Tim, once again, tiebreaker, you going safety or interior O-line here?
I'm going safety.
Safety? So we got to go BPA of the 2. J.R. Reed's 164. Nick Harris is 172. So
there we go.
J.R. Reed gets the board here.
Mr. Reed.
Not from Chapel Hill.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hey, where's the high top fade, bro?
with the nut hugger shorts.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
Now we
Chris Corciani's on.
Now here's where we got to do better than Marty. This is where Marty always fall off. Round 6.
Damn it, Herney.
So far you got Neville Clark, UCF, went Cincinnati. Nick Harris almost made it. Went to 181 to the Denver Broncos. Trajan Bandy went 182 to the Detroit Lions. And then my guy, Courtney Davis, wide receiver, went to the Dallas Cowboys at 183.
Damn.
So at 184, let's see what we got here. Benito Jones is still there, defensive tackle out of Ole Miss. Khalil Davis, defensive tackle out of Nebraska. Joe Reed, wide receiver out of Virginia. He's a return specialist as well. Anthony Jennings, the Alabama edge rusher, fell big time in this draft. He's the 188th prospect there. Any other names y'all want to throw out there, too? I'll look up to see if they're still available. Damian Lewis, guard from LSU, available as well.
Yeah, Damian Lewis is tempting. I was going to ask you to look up my boy you turned me on to, Shaquille Quarterman, linebacker out of Miami. Is he still available? Or because I'm usually getting him like 5th, 6th round range, in my mocks.
He's the 228th on the board, and we're at 184. So we could either consider him now, or he might be there at 7 as well.
That late, I'll wait. Put me down for Damian Lewis, the guard out of LSU. Again, that LSU connection, Castleberry. Now we got the guard, Lewis. We follow on with the rule theme here, getting players that we're familiar with. Larry, the one that put me on Damian Lewis way back in like October, I think. So, let me get that guard.
Yeah, I'm on board with Damian Lewis as well. I was going to go with Benito Jones, a defensive tackle, but I think Matt Rule's more likely to get his guy, Bravion Roy, in the 7th round, so we could probably wait for him and see how the board plays out. So, yeah, I'll keep building on that interior O-line and take Damian Lewis, reunite him with Derek Brown, who busted him up at one play.
Had him on skates. Have you seen a black man on escapades?
Oh, man.
Larry, how you feel about Lewis?
That's what I'm rolling with, too. I was leaning towards Benito Jones, but I'm in a situation where it's a win-win with either of those two guys. So I'm on board with you. And then I also like Roy, later in the 7th. Like, well, my opinion was really 100% what Will was thinking. Like 100%, he spoke for me.
So it looks like there's no complaints on Damian Lewis.
None. So
that's will be the 6th round pick. Now let's see if Bravion Roy slips to 221. So I'll go through the board as well. But you got Ben DiNucci, the Panthers met with him, quarterback from James Madison.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of quarterbacks. Kelly Bryant, quarterback from Missouri, the guy that transferred from Clemson. John Runyon Jr., I think his pop played in the league at one point.
Abused by Michael Strahan, but other than that, he was a perennial Pro Bowler.
Mm.
Right. Okay. Who else? Somebody took Bravion Roy, it looks like. Wow. So, yeah, I mean, we can continue building on that interior O-line. Bravion Roy's still there. He's 240. He's still there at defensive tackle. Want to add some help with Derek Brown. And any other names y'all want to throw? Shaquille Quarterman still available. If you want to go that route at corner, you got Harrison Hand from Temple. Another guy Matt Rule's probably very familiar with. Lamar Jackson from Nebraska still there. Chris Williamson, 6'1" nickel corner from Minnesota, who we've met with as well. So a lot of options in round 7. I think I'm leaning towards Bravion Roy, though. What's y'all thoughts?
Yeah, put me down for Bravion. I shared the stat about him that he led all Division I D tackles with tackles for loss in 2019 with 13 of them.
Wow.
So when the last time we saw a lot of that from the interior. So with Derek Brown being able to play any position on defensive line, Bravion, I've seen him a little bit at 3, but I mostly see him on the inside. I mean, if you guys done watch Bravion, you can probably let me know if he moves around a little bit. But I primarily always seen him right around the center in the interior. So I think he would feel the need, and again, he would know the type of defensive line movement that Phil Snow would want to run, since he was at Baylor in 2016 before Rule got there. So he was one of the few players that stayed after the big scandal. He still kept his commitment to go to Baylor, and I like Roy.
I was going to go Shaquille Quarterman, but you think I'm going to argue with you guys about getting a hog molly? You must be out your mind. So put me on board with Roy, too.
Here. I don't think it's necessary.
We can get Quarterman UDFA.
There you go.
Right, we'll do that next once this finishes. All right, so we done with our first mock draft. At 7, you took Derek Brown, defensive tackle out of Auburn. At 38, Lloyd Cushenberry, center from LSU. 69, Damon Arnett, cornerback out of Ohio State. At 113, you got Amik Robertson, cornerback, nickel out of Louisiana Tech. You addressed the tight end position, got Thaddeus Moss at 148 from LSU. J.R. Reed, safety from Georgia. Work with Trey Boston and the new guy, Justin Burris at 152. More interior line depth with Damian Lewis, guard LSU at 184. And then Matt Rule reunites with Bravion Roy, defensive tackle from Baylor, to team up with Derek Brown.
There you have it.
So that's that.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a successful draft in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you not only addressed a lot of needs, but you took the best player available. You're building your roster from the inside out. I mean, you got a good, compliments. You got 3 guys that can help team up with Dante and Trey Boston back there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're coming out with at least 4 starters with Brown, Cushenberry, Arnett, and Robertson at nickel, possibly Thaddeus Moss to push Ian Thomas. So, yeah, it's got a lot of potential there.
Yeah, buddy. I like it.
And it goes along with what they, was said that this is going to be a defensive heavy draft. So, outside of Thaddeus Moss and the linemen, we pretty much done revamped the secondary, which was much needed. And you guys were also the one that put me on the fact that, with Dante Jackson, he's best when he's moved around. So that's why I kind of wanted an inside, outside, cornerback, with Amik Robinson on the inside, that can let Dante play outside. And, just depending on the matchup, it allows you to have that flexibility. And with, J.R. Reed, I saw Phil Snow also like to use 3 safety packages. So since they're really high on Justin Harris along with Trey Boston, I mean, that could definitely work out as well. So overall, this draft with just 8 picks, no trades would definitely be puts us in a good position to build this new foundation.
Right on. Larry, Will, you got anything to add, or you want to head over to the UFAs?
We can start talking about some of the potential undrafted free agents. I think with Matt Rule's familiarity with these college players, this might be where he really shows out this year, especially with all the uncertainty going on. He's already got kind of a competitive advantage there.
I agree.
Yeah, one guy I like is Kendall Coleman, a defensive end out of Syracuse. Just off of what Matt Rule's talking about as far as what he looks for in football players, athleticism and toughness. If anybody looks that guy up, that's what he does work. That's what he does best. He's very explosive and he plays with a nasty attitude. And that's what I'm looking for to have from guys on defense.
Heck yeah.
So that's a good camp body to look after.
Did Quarterman go undrafted, Will? The linebacker from Miami?
Yep, he's still available.
Yeah, so definitely put him down. He's more of a Mike linebacker type to, groom and put in beside. I know we got Tahir Whitehead to go along with Shaq, but again, looking at long-term solutions. I know Shaq just got a 4-year extension. I believe Tahir's only here on 1 year. Carter and Smith are in their 3rd year. So, that this would be definitely someone undrafted like Quarterman would definitely make a push for not only, making a roster, but possibly getting some reps as well.
Indeed. I would like to see a receiver in the undrafted free agency. Somebody with some serious speed.
I got a name for you, Tim. Kenneth Rogers out of Texas A&M. He was Courtney Davis' running partner at Texas A&M. And Will, I don't know if he caught your eye when you was checking out Courtney Davis, but Rogers, the other wide receiver out of Texas A&M, I really liked him as well.
Mm.
And one guy with Vince did a Twitter post on him is Graylin Arnold, safety from Baylor. He needs to get more under control, work on his instincts and things like that. But, man, he's like a heat-seeking missile out there, for that defense. When he comes up and sticks people, you always see him around the football. He makes plays. I think he's got to work a little bit on his ball skills and things like that. But you expect that kind of unpolished from an undrafted free agent. When you have a guy that's just going to come out, work hard every day, pursue the football, hustle, he'll have a shot to make the team. I think he can, at a minimum, contribute on special teams, run down on kickoffs and knock somebody's head off. So I think that's another guy maybe to look out for the Matt Rule to go reunite with.
I like that. I like that connection.
Yeah, and another thing about Graylin Arnold, he's a DB. He can also play both corner and safety as well. So again, that position flexibility, that depth, because again, I want us to have a type of depth that where one injury does not just unravel the whole damn thing. You know, so someone like him as a undrafted, I definitely would, definitely would like. And then again, someone that's familiar with the system that we're going to be in, and so yeah, being familiar definitely helps you get along the the learning curve of things, and definitely great honor would be a UDFA that I definitely would hope gets an invite.
Any other positions that we should shore up in UFA? I think we're pretty good on the interior linemen going throughout the draft. Offensive tackles for competition?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind bringing in a developmental tackle. I think right now you got Okung, Moten, Little, and Daly, so it's kind of like a 4 deep, rotation right there. Or not rotation, but competition.
Yeah.
For that. Okung, I mean, at his best, we know what he is. He's made a couple Pro Bowls. He doesn't have to prove himself, but we just have had such bad luck with linemen coming off serious injuries in the past.
Yeah, man.
We're going to go back down that road with Okung again. Now, remember, it was a blood clot. It wasn't, a lower leg injury like Paradis suffered and Darrell Williams. So maybe he's not as affected physically by that. So we'll just have to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm tempering my expectations with all these free agents, man. It seems like whenever we get excited about an offensive line acquisition, it never really goes right. So love his resume, but like I said, I don't care if it's a broken leg, blood clot, whatever. I'm gonna have concerns about a lineman coming off a lower leg injury. That's just me. I can't get it away from me. So I'm excited, but I'm gonna reserve myself a little bit this time. I'm just gonna wait to see it play out.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he had a blood clot in his lungs, right? Okung? I think it was in his lung. Yeah, that's what it says here is he had a blood clot in his lungs. I don't think he had any lower body injuries. I do see he missed 2 games because of a groin after coming back from the blood clot. But, groin is going to pretty much happen to about every player that, starts in the league, no matter what position.
Mm-hmm. So where do we go for here, gentlemen?
And then just lastly, I think you're going to see a lot of corners be added in undrafted free agency. I think they met with 8 corners throughout this offseason that probably aren't going to could potentially not get drafted. So not only do I expect them to take a guy within the first 3 rounds like we were able to do, and luckily end up with a solid player, but I think they'll continue to add depth and developmental players to undrafted free agency to try to push guys.
Word.
Hey, Will, in that mock, did Josiah Scott make it? Did he get drafted? The one out of Michigan State that we just recently contacted? Because for whatever reason, in the mocks I've been doing the last few days, he's been available in the 7th round, if not later. And I was just like, that don't seem right with me. But did he get drafted in your mock?
Didn't the Bengals get him in the mock? I'm thinking maybe somebody else from Michigan State.
Yeah, he's still available, so that might be another undrafted free agent they bring in.
Cool.
So with him and Graylin Arnold, you still be able to add some, potential guys that can make the roster and add depth to the secondary. I mean, hell, all we got right now is Corn, Elder, Cole, Luke, and those guys. So I think we like 5th, 6th, 7th round guys be able to make the team this year.
Man. Well, gentlemen, wow. It's draft time, man. Here we go. Whether we have a season or not is to be continued, but damn it, we're still going to have a draft. And Panther fans, I believe you have everything you need to know about that. Now, I mean, if things don't fall the way we, kind of called it, that's fine, but I'll be surprised if we don't get like 75% of this right. I'll be surprised because if you look at last year's draft, man, these guys were just calling it, bam, draft, bam, bam, we're just calling it. So I mean, and even the guys we didn't draft that we researched last draft, those guys went out and they played, man. Some of those guys really played pretty well. So I mean, the 4-man rush knows their shit, folks, for real. Yeah, write that down. Any parting shots, gentlemen, before these folks actually watch the draft on Thursday?
Well, for me, just, main thing is just keep an open mind as far as, with these picks, because at the end of the day, we never know. I mean, every draft, particularly in the top 5, has an unexpected surprise, a curve that was never really forecasted or seen. So just keep an open mind to things. Look for possibility of possible trade backs scenarios as well. And, I just really feel like that, Matt Rule and the staff, they're going to be in a good position to really make an impact with their first draft. And as I already stated at the beginning, when you're getting paid $62 million, you're going to have a say in your very first draft. So, yeah. So, yeah, Marty Herney is just a figurehead at this point when it comes to the draft. All he's doing is calling the player, okay, we're selecting you. That's it.
He scans his card to get Matt Rule into the parking lot. That's all he's using his ass for.
All you do is spin records. That's it.
Yeah, man. Larry, Will, you got anything to add?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll make it quick. I understand the excitement for the first round of the draft. You've been waiting all spring and it's finally here, but this isn't a team that's one player away from achieving that sustained success. So I think this year we're going to get a good player at 7. I'm just not worried about that. May not be the guy I like the most, but the guy we get will be a very quality football player for the team. It's those rounds after that, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, where we really need to find quality starters to build the foundation for the next generation of Panthers football. So that's when you need your TV on, rounds 2 through 7. I think that'll make or break this new regime.
I'm just looking for the physicality, the toughness, the attitude that Rule is looking for. So all the players that I've been looking at and selected, they kind of fit that profile. And I think that's something that Panther Nation should pay attention to. When you hear about a guy that's tough, that's smart, that's what he's going to go after. So that's something to look out for.
Here, man. Again, Carolina Panther fans, enjoy the draft. And make sure you take notes on this podcast because it's going to be pretty damn accurate. All right. So thank you guys again and gals for checking out the 4-Man Rush podcast. On behalf of myself and Kevin and Larry and Will, we really, really appreciate you guys on following us all the way up to episode 55. That's right, 55. So next episode is going to be interesting because we'll have a clearer understanding of who we have on the roster and things of that nature. But take this information and run with it, folks. It's good stuff. Whether you're listening to this podcast in the morning, afternoon, or evening, we hope you are taking good care of yourself and your loved ones. If you're quarantined, stay quarantined. If you're not quarantined, what the hell are you doing? Stop playing games with your life. Wear a mask, gloves, wash your hands, and do not touch your freaking face. Thank you. Want to see you guys in the stands when this is all over. Remember that. So, enjoy the draft, folks. Thanks again from the 4-Man Rush podcast. Make sure you check out our website at the the4manrush.com. Check out our IG Live pregame and Facebook Live postgame on Tuesday evenings. That's every Tuesday evening that we record. We do an IG Live and a Facebook Live with Kevin. So check us out. And also check out our YouTube page. We'll dropping videos again, and it's fire, straight fire. And as always, keep pounding. Clear, gentlemen.
Take it time to really let it breathe. So baby, just chill. Yeah. She love it. We out in public and we can just chill with my partners, and we can go back to my crib and just chill under covers and do we call me and you lovers.
The 4-Man Rush is brought to you by the love and respect of and for the Carolina Panthers and Carolina Panther fans everywhere. Keep pounding. The 4-Man Rush is a non-affiliate of the Carolina Panther organization. All thoughts, assessments, and content of this podcast is directly related to the 4-Man Rush exclusively. Thank you.